Guess who's back? Back again. What's happening, you tasty fuckers? Here, my friend asked me, could you do a video on something dark, dirty, and occult? How do you make your work more dark, dirty, and occult? And I says, well, that's my MO, that's my forte. So, hello, by the way. Thanks everybody for checking in on me. It's been tricky the past few weeks, but I've just banged a ton of monster energy into me. Tidied up the garage, trying to turn it into the studio, as it were. Sorry for doing air quotes, but I quite like them. Yeah, so the studio is now I'm gonna try and get the setup. It's gonna look a bit better over time. We're gonna fucking, yeah. So, my friend Geist Art, one of the outliers, as you know, we're a gang of, kind of like the A-Team, kind of crossed with the Justice League, but like, weird painting people. So, Philippa, Danny, everybody, who else did I talk to? Fernanda, Mickey, the outliers were great. The Elmo painting, I haven't finished it, but it'll be coming soon. So we're going to do this. Hopefully we'll do this in good time and it'll be entertaining and it looks good and sounds good, and then that way we can just take over the world, and then I'll get massive on YouTube, and then I'll fight Jake Paul. How about that? So, right, that's all that's coming off. Now, what we're doing today, this is one that, if you remember, was a painting I did called the Voodoo Hippie bollocks. And it was like a big red and purple sort of snake skull thing. And I don't think it really did much. I tried to add more to it and eventually it's good. So you seen the other week there, when I said I was going to do a wee video and I didn't. I just painted over this, bit of gold spray paint, bit of copper, Culture Hustle copper stuff. Fluorescent green, glow in the dark, black spray paint. This style, if you'll notice, I'll take off the easel. This style for me is almost like, you can see that. You see that? There's a lot going on there. And what I then started to do, see that dirt, that goop, that sort of moss, like the fucking damp. I like that. So sometimes it's a matter of watery paint. Sometimes you thicken your paint, use a hair dryer, you know, let it dry overnight. Sometimes I'll just set the painting underneath where I'm working and just let the paint drip on. You always talk about chaos, so in the spirit of chaos, you know. So we've got a nice background, and I think a good background, kind of like a lot of abstract art. You ever see sometimes some abstract art and you go, where's the rest of it? That's what this is. I could probably leave that like that and say it means something. It shows the outside world, but the inside world, and the gold shows the value of this, and this light, and this, and then you just talk about a fucking shade. Or you could paint a fucking monster, and that's what I know you people want. You people want monsters. Am I right? So, we're going to paint a monster. I'm feeling this is kind of a yellowy area, so let me get my colour wheel. Colour fucking wheel. There we go. So we're going greenies, goldies. So I'm thinking maybe like a purplish blue to build out where I'm starting to see the shape of a face. You can sort of see almost like a hint of a skull here. And we're using a nice mid blue to kind of get where we want to go. So I hope you don't mind hanging out with me today. What's this? Oh, fuck, it's a brush I didn't even know I had. So we've moved everything over here. Hopefully it'll start to kind of take some sort of semblance of looking properly, looking good. But for now, how we going? Is everything looking good? Lovely. Right. So I don't know how I'm going to edit these videos, but I'll try. You know what I mean? Going to get the Patreon sorted out soon if you are interested in that. Make a few quid. You know what I mean? Baby needs new shoes. But so here's a wee trick of mine. I always use 2 jars. Gita's lime and chili chutney, by the way, is fucking amazing. And 2 jars, because when you're using heavily pigmented paints, we'll leave the markers in. We don't need the markers today. The Poscas. When you're using heavily pigmented paint, your water gets murky really quick. So 3-4 jars. I have a load of jars sitting there, just murky. I just jump between them. Fresh water usually when you're starting is good. If you want the dirty effect, use dirty water. But it's kind of like dirty plaster scene. There's a difference between kind of like a stylistic dirt and just looking grotty. So, you know. But yeah, so what was I going to do there? I was going to get an old brush. I've got a load of old brushes here that I think I kind of want to use up before they die. They die, not me. Yeah, I've got a few God, let me see. You'll see sometimes me using one of these. That's a lid off a sweetie jar, and I use it as a wee template thing. So I'll stop talking and show you what I do. You can do as you wish, whatever you want to do with it. I'm going to slap a wee bit down just on. Where's my palette? Palettes. Maybe that's actual palette like Bob Ross. You're going to run the names of these paints graphically across the screen. We've got fucking blue, which is Dave Blue, which is nice, smells nice. Yeah. So like I say, I've got feeling a wee bit more energised. Had to just take some time off, hang out with my girls and my wife and stuff, and it was nice. Because I'm kind of putting myself under a lot of pressure, and everybody's saying, dude, you know, just take it easy. You know, people are looking out for me, and I really appreciate that. So this is nice watery blue. So when it's nice and watery, you can get more of like I would call it a ghostly effect. Let me see how it's looking on the camera. Is that looking okay? Nice. Right, so hopefully at a point we can maybe have a couple of cameras and everything. We can cut between the two, maybe a laugh. I'll maybe start uploading these to YouTube because Instagram's a lot of dick in it. Well, I mean, if you like all the dick, that's absolutely fine, but I mean, it's just kind of, you're constantly being shafted by it. I was sending my wee friend Meg the other day, she was annoyed, and she was like, oh, I like this painting, but none of you seem to like it. And I was like, Meg, that's fuck all to do with people, that's fucking Instagram choking you, throttling you. So your worth isn't really measured by your likes or follows, so, you know, in spite of how sometimes you might go. So, you know me, I always go for a skull shape. I like skulls, I like faces, silhouettes, portraits. I'll just throw this down and see what it tells, see who wants to appear. So dark, obviously I paint dark stuff. Don't be afraid to scare people. If you want to go dark, you know what I mean? But don't go hollow, whatever that means. You want to go dark, it's absolutely cool. Dirty, again, whatever you want to do, whatever you think is dirty. Occult, you know me, I always call the demons, I say the demon summoning. And if you read about things like demonology, demonolatry, fucking the Goetia, things like that, stuff that I'm interested in. The idea of sort of summoning something and trapping it in this two-dimensional thing is it's quite a fun kind of way for me to think about it. Like I know it sounds a bit fucking what's the word? Delusions of grandeur, but creation is one of the most fucking beautiful, magical, holy things you can do, even if you're making something like this, you know. So you see the blue starting to run down, gives me wee hints of like veins, you know. I like that. So we'll go with a bit of blue. What we'll go with next? Maybe a wee bit of, we'll go with a later colour, maybe a bit of oh, that's sap green. See what happens with sap green. Just fair enough. Like we don't have to use much of it. But what I like to do is I'll put a wee bit of paint out as I go, unless I'm specifically using colours, but I'll put a wee bit as I go, and I try to use all my paints up. So again, sometimes I'll just lash. Again, when you're talking about this texture, say I'm painting one of those ones, I'll just, you know, I can clean up my brush, I'll fucking lash it on here too. Got a couple of splats, looks great, you know. So yeah, I never used to like sap green because I thought it was this kind of snatters colour. But if you look, it turns into this lovely yellowy, lizardy green. It's fucking class. I really like sap green. Starting to like yellow ochre. God, I'm so much sugar in me. There's a wee bit of green, maybe hitting down from his face there. I like to do what I would call almost like the 80s, like the retro wave sort of spectrum, where you can go green on one side. So what's the opposite of green? Red. So you'll do a bit of red on this side, and then we'll start to see what happens in the middle. And you can go green into blue, blue into purple, purple into red. You can have a lot of fun there. I know I do. Don't know about you, but I do. So, hopefully everybody can see that okay. That's looking good. So I'll just do this for a wee while and then pause the camera and we'll get back to it. And you'll see where we'll go. Because sometimes it's pretty hard painting and talking. I don't want to give the magic away too much, but at the same time I want to help you guys discover your own kind of magic with the painting, you know? So I'm seeing a face there already. Oh look, you see? Yep. So almost like making this kind of character appear as though the light is catching him. You know, if you've ever read The Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft, if you ever read the Dunwich Horror, there's a bit where there's this monster that they can't see, and so they spray it with a kind of powder, like a luminous powder. And I like the idea of that like almost like I'm spraying the paint over this and it's sort of catching the monster underneath. I'm starting to see teeth. I'm starting to see, so monster as well. We always say, remember the term monster. If there was a book I'm reading by John Michael Greer, it was recommended by Damien Eccles, called Monsters. It's hard to get, but I got a shitty PDF copy. A monster, the term monster means, you know, it's the same root as the word demonstrate, to show. So, yeah, you know, this idea of it like showing itself, unveiling itself, I think that's an interesting way to explore it. And again, that adds the occult thing. If you're into sigils, if you're into, you know, you could put in some angelic writing, you could put in something that's, you know, Hebrew or Latin, you know, you can put as much or as little meaning in. You can do, like Danny writes cool things, he'll write me catchphrases and things like that, and I like the way he does it. Or you can go really serious and go like, you know, you could write the name of maybe a demon or an angel, you know, use the paint as, you know, your summoning, you know, your visualization. It could be worth trying, maybe we'll get into that further down, but if you want to take away from the magic element of it, there's still this sense of, it's just emerging, it's starting to show. The more I look at that, the more I'm seeing something. And I think of it like, you know, like football stickers. You know, football stickers, and it's always the footballer and he's just standing, you know. A lot of my paintings are like that. And you kind of go, you know, like your school photos, it was always just your head. And the second I see a face, I start to see, is that like, you know, eye socket, you know, jawbone, see a bit of teeth, but there's stuff happening here that I'm getting a wee bit excited about. And so should you. So this doesn't always work, but you just keep working. I think that's the only way I can say it. Inspiration finds you when you're working, and it's really hard for me when I am having a bad time from a depression or stress or anything like that. When I don't paint, it's like having your asshole so shut, you know what I mean? You're busting for this artistic dump and you just can't do it. Like someone glued your Jap's eye closed, you know? But I do love painting, but it's been very hard the past week or so to actually do any, so I've just not forced it. As my friend Sean said, he says just things happen when they need to happen, you know? If you know anything about, you know, like I like reading Mataro and stuff like that now. That's too Scully. That's too Agent Scully for me, I think. There's a nice bit going on here though. Stick a wee sloppy bit in there. We'll take some of that away. Where's my secret weapon? Shotgun. There we go. Now watch. Watch it happen. Watch what happens. Things happen. And if you press it close enough, you can kind of blast the paint as well. You know, make my books, but you know, fuck it, it's life. Let it run, let it drip, fuck it. Hair dryer sitting there if we need it. It's a hair dryer on it. Let's go, let's see what happens with the hair dryer. Oh, on the palms open. Okay. There wasn't as much happened there as I wanted, but at the same time, these wee bits look cool. And this just adds to it, don't worry. You know, work on the fucking paint, lay it on, let it just, that's look how thick that is with paint. That's about a millimetre of paint already on that. So, you know, what I'm gonna do, because you're all like, Jar, come on, where's the teeth? Where's the bucking teeth? Oh, here's the bucking teeth. You want some bucking teeth? I'll give you some bucking teeth there. What does it say? Your mom's out horny, buck teeth. 6. I like doing 6s and 7s. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I like 6s. I just think, well, sometimes when painting a count, I think I've said this to you before. If you're into gematria, which is kind of number magic, you can play that. You can do it. Sometimes I like to use a certain amount of strokes as kind of almost, so if you were doing kind of like, you know, an evoking ritual or something like that, certain dead or spirits or whatever would have certain numbers associated with them, and you would maybe, you know, say or do a certain thing a certain amount of times, you know, and you know, kind of like to honour that. Which I think is quite interesting. So in my head, I like to use sixes. I like to use, I'll sometimes do 17. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I don't know why, I just fucking do. It's just a weird wee type, like a wee habit that I have when I do it. I don't know why, but there's something, you know, I'm getting those teeth in. I'm really liking the teeth, but I don't know if I want too much face. I think I'm wanting kind of like a sort of like a Cenobite kind of vibe, but I don't want to go too. I know people say my stuff's a bit Clive Barker. I don't want to just go fucking wholesale Clive Barker, because as much as I love Clive Barker, I'm not Clive Barker. I never will be. Maybe the next Clive Barker. You never know. That would be cool. I love Clive. Big fucking influence. I'm using this wee brush, not a very fancy brush, but I'm using it and just blathering away. I'm liking this. There's something that reminds me of, what do you call him? The Mouth of Sauron, or whatever the fuck they call him. So again, I think sometimes when I'm doing stuff that looks a bit too much like something from pop culture, then I'll have to kind of go, justify that, justify. So there's going to be stuff that has to happen for me to put my mark on it, not to be too much in maybe fan art or area, you know. Just got mummy. Again, I'm not down about that. I'm not down about his face, so I'll blast it off. Fuck it, doesn't need it. He'll tell me what he wants to look like. I'll read him. If you want things to look like they're smoking, sizzling, burning, turn it upside down, let the paint run up the way, and you'll start getting some really cool effects there too. There's a wee jab away there, wee jab. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a wee bit, let it run up, give this steaming, burning, sizzling effect. Yeah. And then we'll get a bit of pink, we'll go a bit of pink up here. So I love this pink, there's not much left of it, but sure, that's life in the big city, isn't it? We'll go do. My hair actually starting now. Right, probably not you too, state of my haircut, but she'll say no. Right, nice some pink on there. Yep. The pink up that side of the skull. You know, start to sort of suggest shapes, but don't, you know, almost like, don't give the game away. Let the paint, let the liquid, let the fucking surface start to suggest things to you. You can add as much to it as you like. You can take it away, you can wipe it off, paint over it, whatever you want to do, until you're happy. And trust me, I don't think I'll ever be fully fucking happy, so I'm always going to be painting. There's always something on my loaf. So, as you can see there, the pink's kind of happening quite like that. I'll bring that off, soften that a wee bit. A wee bit of pink around the mouth, like sort of almost like gums. A wee purple, I think, around here, a wee bit of blurble. Nice little blue on there too. Bob Ross says you don't have to make the sound effects, but I like to hold the brush however you like. Don't use a brush, use your fingers, use your fucking hands. Whatever you want to do. You know, I sometimes find, again, if you're talking energy work, charging things with energy and stuff like that, sometimes it is nice to fucking get your hands cooked up and get them in there. Pull some shapes out. And the funny thing I always thought about doing this is if anyone was to ever steal my painting and try and say it was theirs, I'd be like, no, because there's my fingerprints all over it. So I think sometimes just dip the fingers in the white and just go for a couple of wee slashes, and there's something quite nice where you're not actually having the brush in there. Do you know what I mean? Flick. Look at that. Look what a flick does. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. 6. So it's not like an OCD thing or anything. I just like number 6. So whatever you find, when I say, what does the word occult mean to you? You know, occult obviously means dark, hidden, you know. So in this, I kind of like the idea that I'm uncovering this hidden world almost, you know. like the idea of like I'm putting the paint out and letting these veins take the shape of the paint. You know, sounds silly, but fucking that's what I think. I'm silly, you know. So it's looking pretty good, isn't it? I like that. I like that grin, the way it's hidden there. What do you think? Pardon me. You can see where my hand is? You can almost see that hint of a hand now. Like a clavicle, like a shoulder blade. I'm very interested in anatomy. If you can ever get yourself a wee book, like these wee ones, these wee reference books, these wee things are great. They've got a lot of anatomy in them. Or do you know what? If you want to be hardcore, just Google it. You can get pictures of autopsies. You think about years ago where, you know, like a painting. Who was it? Was it Rembrandt? There's a painting by Rembrandt of autopsy. And everybody was impressed how whenever they showed him opening the arm in the painting, the guy's wearing a black hat. It's like something dark, I can't remember them. But Rembrandt painted this, and people were like, how did he know how that arm would look? There were painters, Jericho, as well, French painter, who really just took stuff, you know, from the morgue, which, you know, you don't have to do now. I'd say that would get you a bad reputation if people knew you were borrowing bodies from the morgue, like some kind of fucking limb library. So yeah, if you want, you know, there's I used to get gore, rotten.com used to be good. I used to like some of that. The colours of viscera, as it were, the colours of, you know, that's nice, but I like a wee bit of the Uncle Frank blood, you know. So what I'm seeing there is a wee hint of this clavicle bit. So you can go to your wee book and you can start putting out some ideas, you know. I always blag ribs, but I think when you try and put a wee bit of effort into, you know, in your head, you know what ribs look like. You'll go rib, but you don't really know how many ribs there are, you know, and stuff like that. So sometimes it's good to use a bit of reference, but don't just, you can use it like a collage, you know. Don't worry about sticking too close to it, but I think a wee bit of realism in reference helps solidify your image. Do you know what I mean? Plus I think stuff like that looks cool. Like there's a hand. I started to do some cool stuff with hands. You know, the way this webs. If you see that way it webs, it kind of round itself. It's like a real fun shape to play with, isn't it? And again, you've always got your own hand to work from. Yeah, interesting. So it doesn't have to be all morbid. You can just get a book from the Leonardo collection. And there's what else is there? Portraits, nudes, caricatures. I fucking hate caricatures. Yeah, so check one of those books out. Yeah, I'm just chatting while it dries. So, will I hit it with a hairdryer? I don't know. Do you know what? I think I'll leave it there for today. Hope you dig this. Hope some of the tips have been good. We'll get back and we'll see this. You never know. Could be finished. Could be whatever. If you want part 2, we'll do part 2 next time. Alright lads, I'll see you later.